Hi, this is Chris here from Woodsman Spirits channel. This is one of the first days I've been able to get out in a while. We've had so much snow up here in British Columbia. Probably at the moment we've got, after a week of thaw, we've still got 3 feet of very wet and slushy snow. And behind me is where I'm living at the moment is the trailer with a wooden shack built onto it. To the right there you can see a small wood store that holds about 2 cords of firewood. And you can just see the chimney for the wood stove in the shed that's on the side of the trailer there. So I've been living up here about 6 months now, 4 months of winter. It's much warmer than it has been. Here's some dry branches that were brought down off these spruce trees. I'm just going to take a couple of these apart. some reasonably thin slivers of spruce. This feels a bit damp, so let's see how we get on with the fire. This is light, very damp breeze blowing. I'll just see if I can ignite this birch bark here. Yep, thank God for that. Got to watch with birch bark, it always curls up when you've set it on fire. It's very resinous, which is kind of good if you can keep the fire going inside the tube of birch bark, as it envelops the tinder and the small flames. So again, using this JB Stoller, here I have, and I'll show this on another video, I've split this down into pencil thickness strands of wood, and that's without using the knife as a batten, which I personally don't like and I've never done. And thankfully the damp wind has slowed down a bit now, so we're not fighting against the wind. Let's get some more kindling. So again, if you don't want to get into using a knife to batten, a nice axe like this, made up, was £1.5 head, and total weight is just short of 2.5 pounds. Very easily backpackable, will shave feather sticks, and will certainly process down this is about a 2.5 inch thick spruce branch. Smells like it's got quite a bit of resin inside it, which is good. A little bit on the stringy side, nevertheless we got through it. So I'll put that there for later. So you've got a nice bunch of sinewy, broken down resinous spruce, and of course if you want to shave some of this down into feather stick, you can either use an axe or a knife. So this is for those who've not seen it before, is a 5-inch blade, or 4 3/4 inch blade, made of Sleipner steel, like modified D2. I made the scales from English yew, some which I brought over from the UK 14 years ago, and I used copper rivets, as you can see. And I wanted to make this because I was looking for a knife, a commercially made knife that would fit the ergonomics of my hand, but that's, I wouldn't say impossible, but it's quite a challenge, and this one really does fit my hand well. I like the fact that I think it's good practice to have the handle sit in the palm of your hand and just be able to touch the palm of your hands with the tips of your fingers. It's also got quite a pronounced flare on the pommel. I did on this knife put on red fibre scales, which I think kind of sets off the orangey red in the yew. And the blade profile is, I would say it's a gentle Scandi Vex. I worked it up on Waterstones. It's very sharp. The very edge is stropped off, and you can maybe just see it. Yep, you can just see the slight convexing of the edge there, and the quite deep Scandi stroke convex blade there. But it does, and this isn't the best wood to make feather sticks of. It's most of the wood around here is wet and quite sinewy, but it's just tilt this down if I can. That's it. You can see it's working up a reasonable, if you want small feather sticks, and you certainly do when the wood's as wet as this. It works some finer feathers up quite nicely. I should be doing the feathers longer, but I'm not. Yes, that's reasonable. The spine of this, sometimes when you buy knives, they look like they have a nice square spine on them, and unfortunately when people try them out on ferrocerium rods, they don't spark too well. You should really feel the squaring of the edge pulling against your thumbprints or your fingerprints. You know, if it feels like it's scraping your fingers gently like that, it's sharp enough. If it just slides over your fingers, it's not sharp enough. you may have to, I mean, using a belt sander does work, but you have to have a fine belt and it has to be absolutely square on the platform of the belt sander. But on this I finished it off with a filing at maybe 45 degrees angle like that, held the knife in a vise and just kept filing it until I got almost a burr on the edge. And this just eats ferrocerium rods and throws off some pretty good sparks. But yeah, and people say some steels are not good at throwing sparks. I don't honestly know. The steels I've used, most of them, except some of the stainless steels, they don't seem to throw a spark. But this is a carbon steel, so, and the spine is fairly hard as well, so it's fairly durable. And of course, you can always scrape up some fluff off the back of a stick like this. And the fine again, that technique works far better if you find a nice dry piece of wood. You can see it's pulling off the fur of here quite nicely. Once I get inside this thicker piece of wood, it's dry. So, yeah, that's what you're looking for. That'll take a spark. You can smell the resin in it. So, many of you will know this. This is the Les Stroud Bushman axe. When I bought this, it was to a zero ground, which was one of the issues with regarding to some folding on the edge. I didn't think there was anything wrong with the steel, but I just stropped it to a nice fine convex, and this axe cuts very well, way above its weight. The whole package, head and half together, weigh 2 pounds, which is slightly less than this stoler that I made up. There's the profiles of these two guys. What I like about the stoler is there's quite a lot of the pole out to the back, and this provides extremely good balance. And the compensation of that is that the cutting blade itself is put the two of them like that, so you can see it looks very short and stubby. This makes it a very good axe to use one-handed. It splits reasonably well, and it bites into wood very viciously. It probably bites even deeper than the Les Stroud Bushman axe, which of course was made by Wetterlings, unfortunately no longer with us, now part of Grantsford's. I don't know if they're still making the Bushman, but again, based on my usage, which is considerable, I would say it's worth buying, or alternatively look for a lighter weight axe head like this one. This is an old American made, probably a century old, JB Stoler. I thought it was quite humorous to mount this on an SA Wetterlings axe, a replacement haft for a Hudson Bay axe. So it's slightly longer than the Bushman by, I don't know, 1.5 inches I would say. But nevertheless, time will tell, but I think I'm onto a winner with this one. Where we're at, that's the trailer and the little wood shed that I've made out of a few 4x4 pallets in the fall there. So yeah, I look forward to making more videos now the weather's clearing up. And sorry I've not been around for a while. I lost two cameras I had, and I bought another one which was a waste of time, and so now I'm using a JVC camcorder. But the problem I had with that initially was I couldn't convert the files, so thankfully I've got some good software now, and hopefully you'll be seeing this on YouTube anytime soon. All the best, guys. Okay, here's the Les Stroud Bushman. Let's give this 12-inch diameter cedar a few cuts with this. And here's the same log with the JB Stoll. Oh yeah, definitely bites harder than the Les Stroud. Yeah, it's pretty good. Stroud, great limbing axe. Stoller, very hard biting but lightweight axe, 1.5 pound a head.